time. And I've been fighting ever since. Patrick Bronson and James Crow have never been indicted for murder. Why? Because former Mayor Giuliani has protected them like if they were his son. 4 years ago, because of my fight, my car was burned. I recently, a director became interested in my case because of my fight and made a film. The film is called Justifiable Homicide, and I encourage everyone to go see this film.
Great film.
I have not been able to see this film because there's graphic pictures of my son's body and my nephew, the way they were killed. But I tell you that I share my pain with everyone. And I am pleased that everyone is watching, is seeing this film and interested in this film. It hurt me when the director said to me that those pictures had to be included in that film, because I knew that I would never be able to see that film again. But you know what? I allowed it because I had to share what they did to my son with the world. And this is what this film is about. This film will be around even after I am no longer in this world. This film is part of history. And this is what we have to continue to do. I encourage young people to get into filmmaking and uncover what the police department are doing, what the mayor are doing, what the district attorneys and the Justice Department does to cover up these killings of the young people by police officers.
No justice, no peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
When the life of my son and my nephew were taken, when the life of Markin Ferguson, Aníbal Carrasquillo, Frankie Osuega, Andre Fields, Alana Bumpers, when their lives were taken by these killers knew nothing about these people that they were about to kill. They knew nothing. The only thing that they knew was that these people were people of color. They were non-white. And because they were not white, they knew they could kill them and get away with it. We have seen when there's a killing of a white person, we see the difference that goes on. We see how immediately the commissioner, the mayor will come out and say it was an accident. Immediately it was an accident. But when they killed our son, immediately the mayor and the commissioner will try to discourage the public from going or hearing the news. Immediately they will do a character assassination on that person. We seen that a couple of weeks ago when a white young man was killed. Immediately the commissioner is saying it was an accident. When my son was killed, when Markin was killed, what did they say? They had a criminal record. They deserved to be killed. The police did the right thing. This is what they continue to say. Well, you know what I say? Bullshit!
Good afternoon. As those of you who watch regularly know, this is 30 Frames a Second, and I'm Nat Wood. That was my good friend. As you know, this is the last show of March. March is Women's Month, and I had to squeeze in. Whoa, that was deep. I had to squeeze in my good friend Margarita Rosario. Whoa. Hello, that was a senior moment. I have a lot of those, so bear with me. She was speaking, that was in 2003. As a matter of fact, that was when they renamed the street for Amadou Diallo, and all the politicians left her in the cold. And she was speaking to an audience that stayed, and I had the choice of either going and videotaping them, putting up the sign, or listening to her. And the more things change, the more things stay the same. The last month or so has shown us the the anniversary of Trayvon Martin, the anniversary of Ramarley Graham. We have Kamani Gray from Brooklyn. With that, I'd like to say that our story does not end in tears. It never ends in tears. We have this way of taking all of our tears, boiling it up, and turning it into triumph. And just as you can appreciate the tears of a mother who's lost her son, you can also appreciate the fact that our sisters have held us up when everyone else cast us to the four winds. Today I have a guest who is a teacher here in what we used to refer to, I'm kind of old, you can tell by the gray hair, we used to call this East Harlem, we used to call this El Barrio, I'm not sure what they call it anymore, but here in East Harlem, I have a teacher who is an extraordinary teacher. She's a music teacher. She takes her children to places like Ethiopia and Puerto Rico, and we're going to show some of the triumph of African people, people in the African diaspora, and not just the pain. We get over our pain and we turn it into something beautiful, something bold. With that, we're going to go to my opening. We're going to show a little bit of a clip of what this sister does, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce this dynamic, extraordinary, bad to the bone sister to you. So if you got my opening, you can roll it, and we'll be back. Where the victim is now the perpetrator and the perpetrator is now the victim. And that just drives me crazy. right, all right, all right. It is my blessing to introduce to you DVR.
Yes.
DVR Rainey. She is a teacher at public school Central Park East 2, right around here. She's a music teacher. And somehow that turned into this organization that you see performing now. It's called Speaking in Rhythms.
Yes.
And we're going to talk to DVR, find out how she went from that to that, how long she's been teaching. And as you can see, the faces of those young people, we are indeed one beautiful people. So, you know, don't get it twisted. It ain't all about us hating us. Some of us love ourselves. DVR,
Hi.
I am
up?
pleased,
What's
I
up?
am blessed. How
Thank
you doing?
I'm doing well.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
Music teacher.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, why did you teach? Why did you choose teaching? Why did you choose music? And how did you transition into making it something dynamic for the community in which you lived?
Well, I didn't choose music. It was divine
That was
intervention.
good, and I should have known that, but I'm glad you said it.
When I went to City College, I studied creative writing. I took a lot of music courses, not knowing that I will one day become a music teacher.
Right.
I just love music.
Right.
I've loved music all my life. Been exposed to some incredible music. And so my son was a student at Central Park East too. And I was talking to the principal at the time, Bruce Cans, and he was looking for a music teacher. So I said, well, you know, you should hire me.
Beautiful.
But I said it jokingly. And, you know, so one thing led to another, and I became the music teacher.
Nice.
And so that was 13 years ago.
Nice, nice, nice.
So,
how did you guys come up with Speaking in Rhythms? Just being a music teacher is a handful.
well, I use percussion instruments to teach music because of the versatility, and children are more receptive to percussion instruments. You could teach rhythm, you could teach melody, you could teach harmony because you have the keyboard percussion instruments.
Right.
Then you have the hand drums, you have the smaller percussion instruments like the cowbells,
Right,
the tambourine. So,
Right.
you know, it's a wide range of instruments.
Right.
And so students liked playing
Right.
percussion instruments. So they would ask, well, DVR, because they called me DVR. We use first names. Can we come up to jam, you know, during
Right.
recess? So we would have these jam sessions during recess. And then that evolved into a performance group.
Right.
And we would perform at different events throughout the community.
Right.
And that evolved into this cultural exchange program that we call Syncopated New York. So Syncopated New York is a project out of Speaking in Rhythms. Speaking in Rhythms is a nonprofit organization. And we had to become a nonprofit organization because of the money that was needed in order for us to go on these trips
Right.
and sustain the program.
Now, arts in the schools have been under tremendous attack in recent years. And I've always said that art is math and math is art. That you cannot build a building without art, and you cannot play an instrument without math. That you know, the two are intertwined. But that's been a difficult sell. I think selling anything that actually seems to enrich our children has become a difficult sell. Have you had any sort of resistance, or what's been your take
Not at
on
my
that?
school. Central Park East 2 is a progressive school, and so they value the arts. We have an art program,
Right.
a full art program, and we have a music program. I teach each class twice
Right.
a week, and in some instances I teach music 3 times a week to a particular class. So the music and art are valued
Right,
at Central Park East too, because it's a progressive high school.
Right.
I mean, elementary school. It's an elementary school.
And
So-
you also teach Afro-Cuban, which means the clave, and clave is well, music in and of itself is a very sophisticated form of mathematics. You know, a theoretical form of mathematics where numbers and you know, but the clave is like some, you know. I mean, I had a percussionist from Cuba who was teaching me the clave and on the piano, and my face kind of scrunched up initially. It was like, yeah.
'Cause it's mathematical, but it's a little bit more
Correct.
than mathematical. It's spirit. You know, it's God. You know, the rhythm. That's what
It's
rhythm
fly.
is.
I mean,
you know,
I
so
could
it's
hear it.
more
I could
than,
almost
you
feel
know,
it, but
because
it
you
was
can
like,
teach
wow, what
it
is
just
this?
mathematically, and it,
Right.
and someone can play it
Right.
mathematically, but it will be missing something.
right, right,
you
right,
know?
right, right,
So it's
right,
you know
right,
it's
right,
that, it's
right.
this, it's that,
Right,
that.
right, right. And if it
It's-
doesn't do that, it's not really African music.
Right.
It's not. We're gonna sit a brother down. So if you see me look a little strange, come on, brother, sit down, and I'll stall for as long as I can. We'll get this camera up there, and they can start adjusting your shot. I don't have the name, so I'm gonna ask. Yeah, there we go. I just did the Miles Davis thing. Well, I didn't turn my back. I just turned to the side, you know. Oh, we got another brother. All right, we got a full house. We got, you know. I wish we had a little time to really set up. We could have got some of these extraordinary people to play a little something.
But we could do that in the future. That'd be
I
cool.
really want to do that. I think that it's time that we really brought community to this studio. This studio is designed for community. So Eminem, I'm going to be pushing you. You know I get on your nerves anyway. So we want to like show who we are and really maximize the effectiveness, the efficacy of this place, and bring the spirit in.
Yep.
Introduce these brothers. Hopefully at least we should have a full shot. Maybe we can get some of them. And if you need me to move over, let me know. David is plugged up, so, you know. My brother here.
Hi, I'm Sean Banks.
Sean Banks. And what's your affiliation with the school?
I'm teaching percussion.
Nice.
Doing an African percussion workshop for the younger children at Speaking.
Younger children being age
basically from 1st grade to 3rd grade, 4th
nice,
grade.
nice.
So they're 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, beautiful,
10.
Yeah.
beautiful. And you, my brother?
Shamari Shinnery,
Uh-huh.
and I'm a former student of DVRs. I used to go to Central Park East, Central Park East 2. And now I came on, I'm a musician, so I'm helping out with the Ethiopia trip, the exchange program. And
Yeah, now you're getting ahead of us. We're gonna no, go on. You know, that's good. It's a reminder. I need reminders.
DVR is like a second mom to me. She's like my musical mom.
Nice.
So I'm definitely,
Nice.
I do what I can to always help out with her and anything
Nice,
she's doing.
nice. It is so refreshing. Not just refreshing. It's a blessing. I have 2 grandchildren, and growing up in Harlem, it's very difficult for children to be children, to learn things that excite them and pique their curiosity. You know, when you grow up in a world that seems not to want you around so much, you know, you become an adult very, very quickly in life, and your lessons
That
are
is
how to
so
be
true.
shrewd and how to read people and how to survive.
right.
Yep.
You know, and we are such a gifted people, such a spiritually beautiful people. We have so many gifts to offer, not just our community, but the entire world. I mean, African music has rocked the entire planet. African art has rocked the entire planet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and to see a sister. You sister, you Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, make me look like a chump, sisters.
Because they're moving too fast for you to keep up with.
Right, you know. Yeah, I'm like, I got my spear, I'm ready to fight somebody, you know.
And they pushing you out.
Right, you know.
That's right.
I am just, it's just good to see, you know, the faces of young people doing stuff like that. You know, as a grandparent, it's just so incredible to me with my own grandchildren to like be able to like help enroll them in music courses and, you know, different things, and because they're so smart, they're like sieves and whatnot, and to see you doing it here where it's so very, very necessary.
But you were talking about Harlem. I grew up in Harlem. I was born in Harlem Hospital, grew up in St. Nicholas Projects. I went to Harriet Tubman School, PS 154. But I grew up at a time where, you know, so I came out directly out of the civil rights movement, the Black Power, you know, all these movements of resistance. So I grew up in that, in the energy. My mother was a vendor on 125th Street for she's still a vendor, she's still out there. So you're talking about reading your environment and reading people. I was out there, you know, I was out there when people were talking on the corners, and so that's the energy. I had positive teachers. Music has always been in school when I was in school. So I had Mr. Cornelius, who played an important role, which I didn't know at the time. Excellent music teacher. I had Miss Annette, his wife, who was an art teacher, and you had some strong black women who taught me. They were, you know, I had all black women teachers. I had a strong black principal who was, you know, a black woman. And so these were my role models in the midst of the drugs that was all around. It was really bad.
Because they were trying to kill us because we were getting too fast. We were getting too, you know, with your little Malcolm X mindsets and your Curtis Mayfield music. You were you know, you were scaring.
So the music
played everything.
They saturated our neighborhoods with a lot of drugs.
A lot of people miss that. You know, they think that. You know, this began with the crack era. No, that crack was like, you couldn't kill us all, so now you're going to try to kill my kids, you know. So now it's like really personal.
It was really bad.
Right.
You know, but I'm saying that being born in that energy helped a great deal. And going to a school called the Harriet Tubman School and learning about Harriet Tubman and learning about all the African American heroes. Not all of them, because there are some unsung ones. But, you know, so having that as a foundation. And being on 125th Street, winter, spring, fall, summer. And, you know, helping my mother.
Speaks.
And so that was.
And you might find Malcolm hanging out with Muhammad Ali on 116th Street, or I caught him one time when I was growing up right in front of Woolworths and whatnot on 125th Street where the Apollo is.
I remember where the Woolworths used to be.
You know.
It used to be.
And they had record shops.
Correct.
They had at least 3. I know they had one on 8th Avenue, and then they had one between Lenox and 7th. I think it was Rainbow. I think they focused on gospel, more gospel. And then there was one that was right on off 7th Avenue.
Right next to the Teresa, or it was around the corner, I mean. Around the corner
it was a lot.
Fidel came to Teresa, they had the Liberation Bookstore.
So I hung out at the Tree of Life.
The Tree of Life,
You know, we, you know, to do our homework because my mother was out there. But music was always around us, and you talked about the music of that day. You know, that was some powerful music.
It was.
It was good. It was good. Not only, you know, the messages, but it was good in terms of composition, music composition, and the people were playing instruments.
The musicianship was at a peak at that time because of the jazz that they grew up with was very, very demanding. and then also the rock music that they were influenced to, and the freedom that they had, and infusing those two things together became a very, very powerful source. You know, Gamble and Huff, although they're from Philly, is a prime example of how all of that just came together, all the orchestration and soul that's in that music. And of course, you know, Harlem was influenced by all of that. Very, very much.
As a matter of fact, any music that you picked during that time was the people's music. None of it was like purely cerebral music. All of it was soul inspired. When you look at Les McCann and Eddie Harris doing Compared to What, that's people's music. You know, it's jazz, but it's people's music.
That's right.
You know, you talked about Gamble and Huff. You could talk about any form of music. When you talk about Joe Cuban, Joe Bataan, that's people's music. Right. You know, people's music, all people's music. You know, so there was a connection in everything we did. You know, and we were aware of ourselves, who we were, and what we had to offer at an early age. Somehow we've lost a lot of that.
Yeah, I think it was the emphasis on sales from record companies, where we lost touch between the people and the music and the corporation and their product. You know, the music became a product. And I think right now we're shedding that, because the music corporations are seeing that they lost in that game. They lost in that game, and also with the modern technology, people are not seeking out to buy CDs as they used to. So all of that is being rethought. And now that we're playing acoustic music more than we did 10 years ago, you know, it's the soul is starting to be reintroduced to this. So it's new for some who weren't there on 125th Street.
Right. It's beautiful, brother. It's beautiful. You know, I can tell by the faces of the young people just there, and I've seen some of the clips, you know, and some of the things you guys are doing with the percussion and I mean with the vibes and stuff. You know, I'm like, you know, it's bad over here. You know.
I think it's good to be exposed to it at an early age. You know, now when you have DVR and these programs like this, people younger than me, you know, teenagers, even almost like pre-adolescents, they have the exposure to the music, whereas, okay, I can start to feel the music more. It's not just what's on the radio, it's something that's coming from me, coming from inside. Once you learn how to play an instrument, whether it's a drum, whether it's a piano, whether it's a marimba, you know how to express yourself musically, and just being able to express yourself, period. I think that's one thing, especially in this community, that we've been deprived of for so long. So when you have these outlets that can just teach one, and now that a young one can, like, let's say I'm 26 now, but now that I know it, I can teach somebody younger, and they can teach somebody, and it just spreads, you know.
But I also want to talk about hip-hop, because you said they took the music out of the public schools. And so the creativity that, because I was there at the beginning, I was there, you know, I was born in '66, so I was there when it was happening, when we were going to the Bronx and we were going to different projects and people were playing music. So that was incredible. That was an incredible movement, because what they did was they took a turntable and they created an instrument out of it. They used their voices and they created a platform to tell their stories. And so that is liberating. You know, and so at the beginning, you know, and we can say that really wasn't the beginning. We could talk about the Last Poets, and we could talk about, but I'm talking about in that particular time, and so it was an incredible thing that happened.
Signifying Monkey. You know,
Those are all rap songs.
They're all rap songs.
But I'm saying, but in that time, that inspired me as well.
That inspired me. It's a brand new culture.
We've always been extremely creative, you know, I mean, that thing B.B. King do with that little one string he be plucking on is like, you know, mind blowing. You know? I also think that you restore the pecking order, which is the most important thing, which is more important than just knowing music, you know. That somewhere along the line, and in the early days of hip-hop, it was so, because in the early days of music, you had to aspire to be as good as adults who were great at what they did. And somehow that pecking order has changed, where the elders are now trying to pretend to be children, as opposed to the elders teaching children how to, you know, how to, right, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of old folks, you know, like, you know, hip-hop great-grandmama. So the pecking order is changed, and I think that has been not the best influence on us as a culture.
Right,
that
know. Did happen.
Yeah.
Because in African culture, you know, philosophy, elders are respected.
Right.
You know, so people don't try to not become old.
Right.
You know, there's a value.
Right.
It's valued, and it has a place in society. Here, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So you have people fighting against it. And so we see it with the cosmetic companies. We see it all over the place.
Plastic surgery, they cut themselves. I mean, they mutilate themselves. At 26, 27 years old. They, you know, just terrified of, like, you know, somebody thinking they're 31.
They're focused on what's on the outside more than what's on the inside.
Correct. They don't even know what's on the inside. You know, a lot of times they're just like running from stuff. You know, I never used the expression "escape from the hood." I love the hood. My grandma made the sweet potato pies. You know, I didn't even know what went on downtown. Like, you know,
trying to stay in it.
Right. But we've gotten to a place where we're always trying to escape stuff, and we think that the more money we have, you know, that's the route to escaping it. You know, you're going on a trip. Tell us about why you chose, where you're going. Tell us some of the places you've taken the young people. You know.
So Speaking in Rhythms, like I said, is a nonprofit organization that provides a comprehensive music program for youth in the community. And so we want kids to be engaged. We want people to learn, appreciate music, and create music. And so in order to do that, you have to expose them to music, you know, and there are different ways to do that. You can have an after-school program in which you have great musicians coming in and teaching them. You can remind them that they already have musical knowledge based on their listening experiences. So from day one, you know, we are learning about music because of our listening experiences. And you can also have programs, you know, these cultural exchange programs, in which the students learn about music from other cultures, and then they go and travel to the places to learn about the music within a cultural context. So we started, the first exchange program we had was, we went to Puerto Rico. We studied bomba y plena. And that was fitting because the school is located in East Harlem, you know, a rich Puerto Rican culture. And so we went there. That was our first trip. It was challenging, but it was an extraordinary experience. We hooked up with Raul Berrios, who just, and Tato Conrad, who just gave us an extraordinary experience. We learned how to make instruments out of natural things like a tree trunk, and you know, we learned how to make the Vigigante mask. You know, we went to the festival in Loíza. We learned bomba. You know, we learned how to play the bomba drums. You know, so it was a very incredible experience. So that was our first trip. The second study was Gullah Geechee, taught by David Pleasant.
Excellent.
We didn't go to the
Excellent.
South Carolina Georgia C.
Excellent.
Islands, but we had David Pleasant. We had David Pleasant, and so David Pleasant taught that workshop, and they learned about how they took away the drums, but they couldn't take away the beat. They couldn't stop the beat, you know, that stuff. You know, and so that was great. So each time the children are developing their musical vocabulary.
Right, right.
The third exchange program was Peru, which you're like, okay, there are Africans in Peru. Yes, there are Africans in Peru. If you know, people don't think about the African presence in South America, but Brazil has the largest concentrations of Africans outside of Africa, and Peru borders Brazil and Colombia, and so we studied Afro-Peruvian music. The clip that you showed was at a museum in Lima, and Marcos Napa was the person who, he was the musician because he's from Peru, and he studied, or he knows, he's a percussionist, he's a dancer, so he taught the children how to play the cajon, you know, and the rhythms on the cajons. We went to Belize to study the garifuna, you know, with James Lavelle, who's you know, a notable, he's a prominent musician.
I was going to take him to Belize.
Belize is beautiful, and the music is wonderful. So James Lavelle, he taught the kids here, and then we traveled to Belize, and we did an exchange program there with children over there. And
I think we have a call. They put their calls through. I'm so busy talking to you guys. I'm like, you got me caught up in it.
we get phone calls too.
Yeah, we get phone calls too. So you can put the tell them if they can put the caller through. And
okay, cool.
I ain't home.
Hello, you're on. If you can hear me, caller.
Greetings.
Whoa, turn it down a little more. Greetings. How you doing? You're on the air. You're on. I can hear you breathing. All right.
Well, I'd first like to say greetings to Miss Devior Rainey.
Hi.
Lots of hugs and kisses. If you could recognize my voice, you already know who this is, baby girl.
Okay, home girl.
And I'm watching you guys on TV, and it's a blessing to see you and Shamari sharing the same stage. Because Shamari, if you don't know who it is, it's Mama Rose.
Hey!
So I'm so overwhelmed. Yeah, hi, baby. You know, to see, you know, Shamari and Eric are very, very good friends. They went to Randolph together. And Deepa, I think you're just being biased with what your accomplishments are, because you've done so much and you've accomplished so much with your group, and I'm so honored and proud to call you friend.
Thank you.
What you're not admitting to is all the sacrifices that you've made as a woman. You know, to accomplish all that you have.
That's right. That's right. You're absolutely right. Financial sacrifices too.
Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh. What's up, girl?
How you doing?
I'm well.
You know, and Shamari has made such a huge turnaround with what he's doing as well. You know, he's doing such a great job, and he's grown up to be such a wonderful man and such a great, great leader, you know, in this young community. And I wish more men would look up to this young man and see how great and accomplished he is. And, you know, I'm just so honored that he called me mom, and I'm so honored to see you and him share the same stage. Not taken away from, you know, Brother Black there in the middle, you know.
That's all right. I'll see you later. We'll meet later.
Yeah, you can come and eat too. It's okay.
Thank you.
You know, but you know, just back to you, Sherry. Congratulations to you, and you know, kudos to you and everything that you're doing with your organization. And you know, I support you and love you 100%. You're a wonderful woman, a wonderful mother, a wonderful leader and teacher.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We got a couple more calls. calls. I want to see if we can get a couple of calls in. I'm glad she called because there were a whole lot of words that I wanted to say that didn't come out, and she brought them out. If you have another caller, put the caller through.
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Isma Paysan with the African Unity of Harlem.
Oh, excellent.
And I had
Hi,
the pleasure of speaking to Devore last night in an absolutely fascinating, intriguing conversation. And I just wanted to state that if you'd like to hear more of Ms. Devore, you're welcome to come to the African Unity of Harlem conversation in family, community, and dialogue in the diaspora that's taking place on Saturday, March 30th at the National Black Theater beginning at 2 p.m. until 7 p.m. And we're going to have an extraordinarily special moderator and host. I won't say his name right now, but perhaps he will say his name. But this is going to be an extraordinary event, and we appreciate if you would come out to hear Mr. Viort again. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be moderating the event, and I am I feel so honored to even be in you guys' presence.
Thank you. Wow.
You are truly just like inspirational. I mean, we've taken a few hits recently, and it's good to let people know that we are beautiful birds and we are not so easily earthbound. But we have another call. We're going to take one more call. Caller, if you're there.
Hello?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Excellent.
Ms. Rainey, I just wanted to congratulate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hear you. Did we lose the call?
Yeah, I want to congratulate you on the wonderful job that you're doing.
Thank you.
Also, I just wanted to know, I just want to digress for
Go on.
I just want to digress for a moment. I think I know your mother. Is your mother run a midwife organization in Harlem?
That's my aunt, Nonkuleko Tayihemba. She's a midwife in Harlem. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's my aunt. That's my mother's sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn your TV all the way down. You might be getting feedback. It might be confusing you.
No, the reason why I asked is because I went to elementary school with her. And I also went to a PS-43. And back in those days, we knew her as Geraldine Rainey.
Yes. That's my aunt. That's my aunt.
Nice.
She's the founder of the Harlem Birth Action Committee.
Nice.
Okay, so peace and love to you.
Peace and
All right.
to you.
He just showed off to let us know he got some cred. He got some skin in this game. Right.
Yes.
Right. Excellent.
I want to tell you about the trip to Ethiopia.
Yes, I want to hear about that, and I'm so jealous. But I shouldn't
well, you
say
can
that
come
on TV.
with us.
Okay, done. I got a passport.
So
we got one more call. Let's,
I'm sorry.
How much time we got? We got 15 minutes. We got enough time for you to talk about Ethiopia. Let's do this call. Caller, if you're there, I'll make sure you have enough time to talk about your trip because I really want to hear about that. Caller, if you're there, put the caller through.
Yes.
Hi, caller. Good afternoon.
Hi, greetings. My name is Mikkel Banks. I hear my cousin laughing already.
How you doing?
I just called to give my cousin a big shout out.
Oh, good, thanks.
Much love to the other parts of the panel. I'm really appreciative of the system and the work in the community. That's a powerful thing, and it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius, so it's women's time. And my cousin knows that, so he's always headed around.
That's right.
I think they turned it like.
He's a real man. But I called to give him a shout out because everybody else is getting so much love, and I wanted to see him get big up. So much love to you, cuz. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, a rehearsal.
All right.
we have
much love to you, Mr. Woods.
Oh, thank you.
I really love your work. One of my favorite shows is Community Cop.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
That's
right.
That's right. Work so much.
Exactly.
And I let a lot of people know how much I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
I bless you to all.
I'm blessed. I'm sitting here like learning like everybody. I'm the 26-year-old. I just had a hard life.
And you know what's interesting is that was the first thing I thought about when I walked in was how my cousin Mikkel loves you on Community Cop.
Right. Excellent. Thank you, man.
But we have a performance with performing for the fundraiser for Ethiopia. Mikkel sings lead with one of the bands that I work with.
You're going to tell us about that.
Yes, on April 19th.
Right.
At the
New York Academy of Medicine.
All right. Make sure as we get closer to April 19th, give me that information. I'll make sure that I let people know.
Thank you.
You know, because we need to come out and support.
Yeah, we need a lot of community support. For this one, we don't get any grants.
Right.
And so the trips that we had before, it was community support. This one is a big one. We're going to Ethiopia.
It ain't over. I'm going to kick over some boxes and, bulldoze some houses. But I'm going to get my ways.
Give thanks.
Tell me about Ethiopia. Do I have another caller on there? Or that's the same caller? Okay. Tell us about Ethiopia. Tell us about the fundraiser you got coming up. Just tell us.
So Ethiopia, we're going to Ethiopia. We're taking a delegation. We're taking a youth delegation that are members of the Speaking in Rhythms Percussion Ensemble. And we're taking musicians, dancers who've worked with Speaking in Rhythms at some point in time.
So how many have
we're looking now at 15. Ooh. 15. So we're taking 5 youth delegates. Who have been with Speaking in Rhythms for the longest person, 7-8 years, and they, traveled with us all 3 places. And we're taking Sean Banks, who conducts the workshops. We're taking Tony Jarvis, who conducts workshops like the composition and improvisational workshops. So he works with the core members, which are the older members, the more experienced members. We wanted to take Marcos Napa from our Afro-Peruvian studies, James Lavelle. I have to look at it. Sorry. There's a whole bunch of them. Shamari. Elvis Jordan, who's a civil engineer in Barbados, and he plays the guitar. Sean Banks. Nikki LaBoy, Nikki LaBoy? So Nikki LaBoy is supposed to be coming with us. He's a Afro-Caribbean percussionist, and he lives here in the community.
Now, I don't want to disturb you, but I gotta ask. There are parents who are desperate to find things that their children can get into, especially parents in this community. I might steal you and drag you over to the west side. But in this community, there are so many things going on in New York, so many things that can take a bad situation and make it impossible. How do people reach out? How do people join and
but we want to offer more. We want to offer. We want to service more children. We're getting most of our children from Central Park East too. But we want to expand it. So the organization is registered in the Bronx. We wanted to expand it in the Bronx and also Central Harlem because that's where I'm from. Yeah, because that's my school, and we have access to the space. So if we had space available, then we can expand our program. And if we had financial support, we can hire people in the community to teach. Because
approximately how many children are in Speaking in Rhythms?
So you have the workshops. The workshops are so you have the performance group. Ensemble, and then you have the people who are participating in the workshops, the after-school program. Sean, you have 15 students?
15 students.
We have a marching band workshop.
There's about 15 in there, too.
Yeah, 15. So right now we're servicing, and then the Friday group, which is 7, because we're developing a junior percussion ensemble. So, so what's that? Close to 40 people.
All right. So we need some space, and we need some contributions. We need some people to take an interest in their own children, because God knows everyone else is interested in them, and it's not for altruistic purposes.
Okay. Yeah. So we have to, you know, we have to make our contributions.
Right.
We're here because people believed in our existence.
Right.
You know, we could still be shackled if people didn't believe in our freedom.
Right.
And so we have to make our contribution, and we have to provide opportunities for, you know, I guess this generation or the future, the generation that's coming up. And so we have to make sure that we pass that on, that energy, that we are obligated to provide opportunities.
The good thing is, though, that when you got the opportunities, you have done extraordinary things. One of the problems with black organizations, no matter how well intentioned, you know, people are intolerant of any. Everybody else gets like a chance to develop and grow, you know, but you gotta like get it right after otherwise they're done with you, and they'll say the plan don't work. We gave these Negroes, and you know, they didn't come through. So,
but like instant coffee.
Right. If your team don't win, you may never coach again.
That's right.
You know. And you have really done extraordinary things. So there's something that you can now see with your own eyes. I mean, you saw the faces on those children, and I didn't even show the clip with them on the vibes and stuff like that, which is like some music theory or the clave thing.
And that's music that they created.
Wow.
You know, they arranged or created.
Wow.
And so the ability to create is a wonderful thing. To create opportunities where kids or anyone can create. That's some empowering.
It really is
stuff.
It really is.
You know, because
really
I am the creator. I am a creator, and so you can take that energy, that thought, very far.
Right.
I'm the creator. I am the creator. I created this.
That's one thing I'm learning. Like I love about being involved with this program, because now that we're going to Ethiopia, we get to learn a whole different musical culture, and they have their own, you know, music scales and music theory. Like Ethiopian music, it's so authentic and original. So now, when you have, like personally, I've been influenced by like calypso and soca, and because my family's from the Caribbean. But when you mix that with the Ethiopian music, and now everybody's putting their own thing, it's like you're creating something original, and nothing can beat that at all.
We got like about 4 minutes left. So when are you going to Ethiopia?
Well, we're looking to go July 12th. It's a 16-day experience. We have, you know, we have the itinerary set. We're going to be doing, we're going to be collaborating with musicians and artists over there. We're going to be working, we're going to be doing humanitarian work. So we're going to be conducting workshops at 3 different orphanages there. We're probably going to do some sort of clothes drive and some sort of school supplies drive. So,
who's your local political people here?
Well, Serrano is one.
Serrano,
which is his office is right next door.
So you got 2 Serranos. You got a senator and a council person.
Both service with the location we're speaking in rhythms.
I'm talking about right here.
Here you have Serrano, right? The son.
Right. He's the councilman.
Right, and then you have.
And the father is a senator or a congressman? I know he's in the legislature. He's in Congress.
Yes. He services me too. Because I live in the Bronx.
So I dropped your name specifically because we need some help in.
I'm gonna drop some booklets next door to Serrano's office after I leave you.
But I'm saying your name on TV, and I'm gonna say it all over the internet.
Put them on blast.
You're others too.
Believe me, I'm gonna look up all of you, and I'm not begging. These are our children, and you see our children. You, as a father, know how much potential our children have if they are allowed to develop, you know. So I'm reaching out. I'm not, you know, being mean. I'm reaching out and say,
so
you
we
know,
want to
hook a
give
brother
our
up, hook a sister
website
up,
before.
even better.
Yeah, so if you want more information about Speaking in Rhythms and our trip to Ethiopia, you can go to www.speakinginrhythms.org.
Right. And if you know your little search engines, and you're anything like me and can't remember all them W's and stuff, just type in Speaking in Rhythms.
Right.
You'll find it. You know, it'll all spit out. You don't have to get all WW.
Right. I realize that you don't need the www anymore.
You don't even have to spell it right. They'll spell it for you. Do you mean, since you don't spell so well, do you mean this now?
That's true. That's true. But we're asking the community to support this extraordinary project.
Excellent.
And and also I just want to say that we have to start thinking globally.
Yes, we do.
And so that's why we are going to these different places, and because we are, we have
music is a global language. Art is global language.
Right.
You know, it's earth speak.
That's right.
Yes.
We're running out of time. We got a minute left, so I just want to make a point. We got 3 dates I want you to remember. The 30th, which is this Saturday at the National Black Theater, Barbara Ann Tears' old hangout. His daughter is running it. We're going to do African Unity in Harlem. My illustrious guest will be there. I'll be there. We have April 19th
at the New York Academy of Medicine.
What time?
6 o'clock.
And where is that?
That's 1216 Fifth Avenue, right off 103rd Street.
103rd Street, Fifth Avenue.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And also remember, Speaking in Rhythms. Look it up. You can get all of this information.
Yes.
I am so pleased and blessed to have you on. You have really closed out the month of March, big time. You know, you have to come out and see these extraordinary, gifted, blessed people in person, because this is performance art. And when you are dealing with performance art, you need to come out and see people perform. That's my music telling me, okay, Nat, you got to shut up real quick. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I want to thank my guests so much for showing up. I feel like just humbled in your presence. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace. We're out. Excellent.